Most people believe that tuna is always a smart and healthy choice. Fresh tuna, canned tuna, tuna salad, tuna sandwiches. For decades, tuna has been seen as light, clean, high in protein and good for the heart. Especially after 60, many people choose tuna because it feels safe, simple, and familiar. But what if I told you that not all tuna supports your body in the same way after 60, and that the way tuna is processed and preserved can quietly change how your body responds, even when you're eating what seems like the same fish? For many older adults, the difference between fresh tuna and canned tuna isn't just about taste or convenience. It can affect how your body absorbs protein, how much energy you feel during the day, how well you digest food, and even how your brain and muscles age over time. These changes don't happen overnight. They unfold slowly and quietly, often without clear warning signs. And that's exactly why so many people never notice. The fish may be the same, but your body is not. Today, we're not here to make you afraid of tuna. We're here to help you understand it better. Because when you truly understand the difference, you can make small choices that lead to big benefits for your strength, mental clarity, and independence in the years ahead. And that understanding begins by looking at tuna in a completely new way. Before we go any further, I want you to ask yourself a few familiar questions. You may see yourself in them. Do you often choose canned tuna because you believe it's easier on digestion and better for your heart than red meat? Have you ever eaten tuna several days in a row because you thought more protein must be better as you get older? Do you often mix canned tuna with mayonnaise, eat it with white bread, or have it quickly in the evening for convenience? Have you noticed that sometimes after eating tuna, you feel bloated, heavy, or more tired than usual, but you assume that's just part of aging? And have you ever thought that fresh tuna and canned tuna are basically the same, just different in convenience? If you nodded yes to one or two of these, you're not alone. Most people I've worked with over more than 20 years of caring for adults over 55 have habits like these. Not because they're eating wrong, but because they're following older advice applied to a body that has changed significantly over time. After 60, your body no longer processes food the way it did at 40 or 50. What once worked well may now need adjustment. And that adjustment is what determines whether tuna truly supports your health or simply remains a food that sounds healthy but delivers fewer benefits than you expect. And that's exactly why the next part of this video matters. In this video, I'm going to help you see tuna in a completely different way. Not to dismiss its value, but to clearly explain the important differences between fresh tuna and canned tuna, especially for the body after 60. Specifically, I'll share 7 clear benefits that fresh tuna offers compared to canned tuna benefits that many people over 60 are unknowingly missing. For each point, I'll explain why the difference matters, what's actually happening inside your body, and how you can use tuna more effectively without drastically changing your eating habits. You'll understand why some people eat tuna regularly, yet still feel weak, tired, or uncomfortable after meals, while others with only small changes in how they choose eat. And time their tuna feel lighter, stronger, and more mentally clear. And stay with me until the end, because the final benefit surprises most people. It's not something you usually hear in food advertising or common nutrition advice. But once you understand it, you'll never see canned tuna and fresh tuna as basically the same again. Now, let's move into the core content. One point at a time, calmly and clearly, so you can apply it directly to your own life. We begin with the 7th benefit, a point many people overlook because it isn't immediately visible. That benefit is protein quality. Many people believe that protein is the same everywhere as long as you get enough grams per day. That sounds reasonable. But what the body after 60 truly cares about is not just quantity, but usability. Fresh tuna contains protein with its structure still intact, not broken down by extremely high heat or prolonged sterilization. When you eat fresh tuna, the protein is like bricks with clean, sharp edges, easy for the body to stack and use to maintain muscle. Canned tuna, on the other hand, has been exposed to very high temperatures, causing protein denaturation like chipped bricks that require more effort to reuse. For people over 60, this creates a noticeable difference in muscle strength, flexibility, and recovery after fatigue. The sixth benefit relates to omega-3 fats. Fresh tuna provides omega-3s in a natural, balanced, and easily absorbed form. Many people believe canned tuna is also rich in omega-3s, and that's not entirely wrong. But what's often overlooked is that omega-3s are sensitive to heat and oxygen. The extended canning process reduces their quality. For older adults, omega-3s are not just healthy fats, they act as lubrication for joints, blood vessels, and the brain. Fresh tuna is like fresh engine oil, while canned tuna is more like used oil, still functional, but no longer as smooth or effective. The fifth benefit is digestibility. Many people over 60 eat canned tuna and experience bloating, slow digestion, or mild nausea without connecting it to the food. Canned tuna is often preserved in brine or oil and may contain additives to stabilize texture. For a digestive system that has slowed with age, these factors add unnecessary strain. Fresh tuna, when simply prepared, is much gentler on the stomach, allowing the body to conserve energy for more important functions rather than spending it all on digestion. The fourth benefit is sodium control. Canned tuna often contains more salt than you realize, even varieties labeled low sodium. When you're younger, the kidneys can handle excess sodium more efficiently. After 60, that capacity declines. Excess salt pulls extra water into the bloodstream, increasing strain on the heart and blood vessels. Fresh tuna allows you to fully control salt intake, helping stabilize blood pressure, especially important for those taking heart medications. The third benefit involves heat-sensitive vitamins and minerals. Fresh tuna retains more B vitamins, particularly B12, which is essential for memory and nervous system health in older adults. When fish is processed at high temperatures for long periods, some of these vitamins are reduced. This doesn't cause immediate harm, but over time it can contribute to fatigue and poor concentration symptoms many people mistakenly attribute solely to aging. The second benefit is the eating experience and satiety signals. Fresh tuna has a natural texture that requires slower chewing, sending clearer signals to the brain that you're eating a real meal. Canned tuna is soft and easy to eat too quickly, making it easier to consume more than you need without noticing. For people over 60, eating slowly and recognizing fullness is key to managing weight and maintaining steady energy. And finally, the first benefit, and the one most often overlooked, is the connection between food and overall well-being. Fresh tuna, when chosen carefully and prepared simply, is usually part of a more mindful meal. You pay attention to ingredients, preparation, and timing. This benefits not only the body, but also the mind. Canned tuna is convenient, but long-term convenience can lead to eating without truly listening to your body. These benefits do not mean that canned tuna is bad or must be eliminated entirely, but they explain why, with the same type of fish, the way you choose and use it makes such a significant difference after 60. And in the next section, I'll dive deeper into the most important benefit and the one most often misunderstood, so you can see why this video is truly worth watching until the end. Now we come to the most important benefit, and also the point that many people over 60 misunderstand the most when comparing fresh tuna with canned tuna. This is why this video truly matters. It is how the aging body processes protein and repairs tissue after eating. Most people believe that as long as they eat enough protein, that's sufficient. A can of tuna clearly lists how many grams of protein it contains, which feels reassuring. But after 60, the issue is no longer how much you eat, but how much your body can actually absorb and use. When you're younger, the body is like a new factory. Raw materials go in and are processed quickly with very little waste. As we age, that factory becomes older and slower, and it needs materials that are easier to work with. Fresh tuna provides protein in a form that the aging body can recognize and use more efficiently. It supports muscle repair, helps maintain strength in the arms and legs, and contributes to better balance. Canned tuna, by contrast, still contains protein, but it has undergone intense and prolonged heat processing. For many people over 60, this means that the protein passes through the body without being fully utilized. The result is that you may still be eating enough protein, yet your muscles gradually weaken. Fatigue comes more easily. Strength declines and recovery after activity slows. I have met many older adults who told me they eat tuna regularly, but still feel weaker year after year. When they switched to fresh tuna, simply prepared, eaten at lunch or early dinner, combined with vegetables and a small amount of healthy fat, they began to notice a difference. Not overnight, but over weeks and months. Walking felt steadier. Fatigue decreased. Mental clarity improved as well. This is exactly why this benefit is so often overlooked. It doesn't cause immediate problems, but over time it plays a major role in how long you maintain strength and independence. And it's important to emphasize that this is not a call to completely eliminate canned tuna. Canned tuna still has its place, especially when convenience is needed. But if you rely on it entirely as your main protein source, after 60, you may be missing an opportunity to support your body more effectively. Understanding this benefit helps you not only choose the right food, but also choose the right way to nourish a body that is changing with age. And in the next section, I'll explain clearly who needs to be especially cautious when eating tuna, whether fresh or canned, so you can adjust safely and appropriately for your own health situation. At this point, there is one very important clarification to make. Tuna, whether fresh or canned, is not a bad food. However, for some people over 60, certain conditions mean that tuna intake needs to be adjusted more carefully. If you have cardiovascular issues, especially heart rhythm disorders, or if you're taking blood-thinning medications, you should pay attention to how much tuna you eat each week. Tuna contains compounds that can influence blood clotting and how blood vessels respond. When you're younger, this is usually not a concern. But after 60, when blood vessels are less elastic and medications are acting at the same time, the combination may trigger stronger responses than expected. This doesn't mean you must avoid tuna, but it does mean eating it in moderation and keeping intake consistent rather than fluctuating widely. If you have kidney disease, even at a mild stage, tuna also needs to be considered carefully. Protein is essential, but when kidney function is reduced consistently, high protein intake can add extra strain. Canned tuna, especially varieties with added salt, requires even more caution. In these cases, fresh tuna prepared with minimal seasoning and eaten in moderate portions is often easier to manage. Most importantly, it's wise to discuss appropriate limits with your doctor. People with a history of headaches, dizziness, or sensitivity to histamine-rich foods should also be attentive. Tuna, particularly canned tuna stored for long periods, can contain higher levels of histamine. In younger bodies, this often causes no issues. In older adults, it may lead to restlessness, mild headaches, a racing heart, or difficulty sleeping after meals. If you've noticed these symptoms, try reducing portion size, eating tuna earlier in the day, or prioritizing fresh tuna instead. If you're taking multiple medications, especially for blood pressure, heart conditions, or metabolic issues, tuna should be viewed as part of the overall dietary picture, not as a standalone food. Food-drug interactions at 60 are very different from those at 40. A small adjustment in diet can lead to a noticeable change in how you feel day to day. And finally, if you eat tuna almost every day because you believe it is the safest option, this is a good time to pause and reassess that habit. Variety is the foundation of long-term health. Rotating between tuna, smaller fish eggs, legumes, and other protein sources helps prevent overload and improves overall nutrient absorption. These considerations are not meant to restrict you, but to help you eat tuna more intelligently. When you understand your body and adjust accordingly, food becomes a tool that supports health rather than a hidden burden. And in the next section, we'll step back and look at the full picture so you can clearly see what tuna truly offers when it's used the right way after 60. Now let's pause for a moment and look at the whole picture from above. After going through all the mistakes, misunderstandings, and points that require caution, the most important message is not, don't eat tuna, but rather don't keep eating tuna the old way when your body has already changed. When tuna is eaten properly, after age 60, it can still be a very valuable food. Tuna provides lean protein that helps maintain muscle mass, something we naturally lose year after year if we don't pay attention. But unlike at age 40, protein at this stage does not automatically turn into strength. It needs to be eaten in the right amount at the right time, and within a digestive context your body can handle well. When you choose the right type of tuna, prioritizing fresh tuna or simple canned tuna with low sodium and no industrial oils, your digestive system works more comfortably. Feelings of bloating or post-meal fatigue are noticeably reduced. Many people over 60 who adjust how they eat tuna realize they no longer feel drained after lunch as they once did. When tuna is eaten at a reasonable frequency, not too often, not every single day, the body has time to absorb nutrients and recover. This reduces strain on the liver and kidneys while helping keep energy levels steadier throughout the day. Instead of experiencing tired afternoons, you may feel more alert and focused. When tuna is properly combined with other foods such as cooked green vegetables, healthy fats, and easy-to-digest carbohydrates, it supports heart health and memory more effectively. Blood circulation becomes steadier, and feelings of lightheadedness when standing up suddenly tend to decrease. These are small changes, but they make a meaningful difference in daily life. Most importantly, you don't need to change everything at once. Just a few small adjustments, such as reducing portion size, eating earlier in the day, or not relying on a single food. As your main protein source can already prompt a very positive response from your body, small changes when maintained consistently lead to big results. When used correctly, tuna can still be part of a diet that helps you maintain health independence and quality of life after 60. And in the next section, I'd like to hear from you so we can turn this knowledge into a meaningful conversation rather than just a one-way lecture. Before we wrap up, I genuinely want to hear your story. When it comes to tuna, do you usually choose fresh tuna or canned tuna? How many times a week do you eat it, and at what time of day? Among the points we've discussed, was there anything that made you think, oh, that's actually what I've been doing? Perhaps it's eating canned tuna too often, or eating it late in the evening because it's quick and convenient. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Many people over 60 are reading and learning from one another's experiences. If you found this video helpful, please click like so more older adults can easily find this information. And if you'd like to continue receiving calm, clear, non-judgmental insights about nutrition and health. After 60, consider subscribing to the channel. Each week, we aim to share practical, relatable topics that help you understand your body better and make more informed, confident choices. You can also share this video with friends, family members, or anyone entering their post-60 years. Sometimes the right information reaching the right person at the right time can create a very meaningful change in daily life. And now, let's close with one final message, gentle but deeply important. Before you leave this video, I want you to remember one important thing. Turning 60 does not mean your body is breaking down. It means your body is communicating with you in a different way. It needs you to listen more carefully, slow down a bit, and make choices that are better aligned with how it now functions. Tuna is not the problem. The problem is continuing to eat it the same way you did when you were younger, even though your digestion, liver, kidneys, and blood vessels have changed. Once you understand that food no longer controls you, you begin to take control of your meals, your energy, and how your body feels each day. The good news is that it's never too late to adjust. Just small changes, choosing a more suitable type of tuna eating. Appropriate portions and timing meals, when your body can process them best, can help you avoid a great deal of unnecessary fatigue. Health doesn't come from big dramatic decisions. It comes from small choices repeated every day. If there's one message I hope you take away today, it's this. You still have a great deal of control over your health. Understanding food doesn't make you fearful. It makes you more confident. And that confidence is the foundation for living well, living independently, and truly enjoying life after 60. Thank you for spending your time here. Take care of your body with understanding and patience, because it is the most valuable gift you can give yourself.